So if that is what your pocket, if that's where your pocket can take you to, please go there and invest in things you know you can rework and you can restyle and are functional. Functional garments. Functional garments. They have to be functional, or else you just keep spending on the same thing over and over and over again. And for those who have events, I think this is where tailors will come to play now. This is where tailors will come to play. And I'm very certain that even designers...
fire question.
Okay.
Go on.
Even designers would look for ways to cut down on their pricing. Designers will look for ways to cut down on their pricing. While there's a market for everyone, at the end of the day, the people buying luxury are probably still buying their luxury. The people who are trying to be frugal and trying to maintain their space and understand what their earnings are staying in their space. So that's it, Uncle.
Okay, you might have to move slightly because we're losing you at some times. I'm not sure if it's connection. But
okay.
Olukayode's question is this: as a stylist, what are the qualities as a stylist? What are the qualities or characteristics you appreciate in serious designers you've worked with?
Talent.
Tosin, did you get that?
Yes, Uncle, I heard. Very well. Talent is very important. Talent is very important. Being open.
Is that a hard one? Has he scattered your brain with that question? Okay.
It's not... Okay, so for the designers I meet and work with, or potential designers I hope to work with, the thing, talent is very important.
Struggling with connection here.
Yeah, I think I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
Like you're underwater. Is there any way you can move a bit?
It's possible to just stay away. I don't joke with my peace of mind.
Okay.
And I feel it's something we should all learn in fashion. Everybody wants to be a diva. Everybody wants to be mean. And everybody wants to be nasty. But I don't see the need to be all of those when you can just be kind. That's
it. I so agree with you. So I think we're coming up to our more or less last question from people that are there. But Kemi Olala, unless we want to come back again, guys, if you want to come back,
of course I want to.
And you can all join us. Please, if you say we should do another hour, guys, put your comment and we'll come back again. If not, we'll shut it out in the next few minutes. But while we're waiting for their comments to see if they still want us to come back again,
okay, sir.
Kem Olala says, is revamping a thrift item and calling it your brand or your design permittable? So basically, they take somebody else's stuff
and then they
put it together and they now try and pass it off as their brand. Is that allowed?
That's shady.
I was going to say, but I needed you to answer it.
I feel, to be honest with you, as much as it sounds, because people will tell you it's a new design the minute you alter something from it. But I feel it's shady, and somewhere in your conscience, unless you don't have a conscience, so somewhere deep down in your conscience, you will know this design is not mine. I don't own a right to this. It's basically someone building your house to a point, and then you want to continue, and then you're saying you're the one that built the house. No, it's not. I don't fancy things like that. I don't fancy.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, the fact of the matter is, outside of Nigeria and possibly some parts of Africa, if you tried that and the designers saw it, they would sue you. I mean, there's not even any.
It's more like you buy a Baroque print from Versace, or you buy a Baroque shirt from Versace, and then we know that Baroque print is Versace, and then you not cut out the sleeves and say, oh, you're putting House of Jaga Jaga on it, and then automatically it's yours. Who owns the fabric? It's Versace.
Yeah. So please, anybody that's on here, don't do that. You will get into trouble. If you style somebody with a different clothes, that's a different thing. But don't try and claim that this is your original creation.
Nah.
A lot of people have got into serious trouble with those kind of things in the past, and things will not change now. So please, if you got more questions, Tosin, do you have more time with us? Because your fans, everybody here, they're begging that you please do another hour. So I want to know if you have that time or not, because I know you're a busy
please,
man.
I have the time. I'm not doing anything.
Thank God airports are closed, because if airports were not closed, Tosin would say, I'm so sorry, I'm on my way to catch a plane. I can't do an extra hour. But because airports are closed, thank God for that.
It's shocking that I just hope our shows go on. I hope the shows go on this year. I hope the shows go on. I hope the shows go on.
We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. It's going to be a tough year for everybody. There's no doubt about that. Whether you're a stylist, whether you're a fashion designer, whether you're a show
model,
producer,
you're a makeup artist, you're a hairstylist.
It's going to be difficult. And that's one of the reasons why we got Fashion Finance Africa and why we're trying to bring this out to people. To say, listen, give you information, give you knowledge, find out what's going on. All these sort of things is what we are trying to give to you, give our time. We're trying to give something back, because the likes of Tosin and I, the Style Infidel, we are busy people. Guys, let me not get it twisted. But we feel that we've been fortunate to have done well in the industry, to have made some small change in the industry. So we want to give something back. So, please, guys, you're telling me to continue. Any questions? Because Tosin, let's drain his brain. By the time he finishes, I want his brain to be empty, that you people have sucked all the knowledge out of it. That is, it's an empty brain. So 3rd of March says, considering the height of fashion in Nigeria, how would you rate Nigerian designers, stylists, compared to foreign designers or stylists?
Okay. For instance, now I strictly wear a lot of most of my garments are from Nigerian designers, women's wear, men's wear. I clash everything I need to clash together. They all create for me and all of that. And I will tell you that we have talents. Now, I would see this question from 2 angles. It's either we're saying from a designer-stylist relationship, or how would I perceive designers and stylists and all of that. Now, it is very imperative that we talk about pay. It is very important that we talk about pay and business structure and all of that. And these are things I'm learning. I think one of the things I learned from you, Uncle, when I think was at the first GT Bank, was you teaching me the business of documentation. I will never forget. I would never forget that. I will never ever forget that. Now, over there, it's more than I'm a stylist.
Yes.
There is a proper procedure to things. There is a proper so if a stylist can tell you, if I'm staying 2 hours, this is how much I'm charging. If it is a fashion show, this is how much I'm charging, and I'm not going to stay more than 4 hours. If I'm staying more than 4 hours, so will change. And it's one thing because I'm currently under few visionary, and it's one thing I'm also learning from Bola, and that's how she has packaged my brand. If you want him to stay for this number of hours, this is how much you're paying him. If you want him to stay beyond this number of hours, this is how much you're paying him. The designer-stylist relationship over there is a lot better,
right,
than the one we have here. Let's be very honest with ourselves. And I feel also that if we as stylists here state our terms with regards to paperwork, like you always advised, Uncle, documentation, with regards to documentation, and we present it to these people, to our Nigerian designers, I believe they would respect whatever they see on paper, rather than, oh, this person just sees it as a hustle, let me just throw chicken feed at him, or let me just throw chicken feed at her. So if it's a designer relationship, we're gradually getting there. The game is obviously changing. I can't compare styling now to what styling used to be way back 2010. At my first experience at the Rise. It's a totally different ballgame. So everybody's getting smarter, everybody's getting more professional. Everybody's seeing the need to get value for what they're bringing to the table.
All right, Tosin, I'm going to have to interrupt you now, because
yes, no problem.
This is end in like 30 seconds. Olubemi, come back with your question again. Unusual Reza, come back with your question. We are going to come back in less than 1 minute. So everybody, please log in, because Instagram Live is going to log me out. Do not go away. We've got another great hour, some amazing questions, guys.
See you guys soon.
Hi guys, we're back again with the Style Infidel. We're just waiting for the Style Infidel to come and join us. He's going to come on. I think I sent him a request, so he's going to come on in a second. But God, the first hour has flown by. It's been amazing. We just had some fantastic questions. I can see everybody is really interested in all the things that he has said, saying to us. So, and I'm looking forward to another exciting hour. Guys, thank you for coming back to the FFA chat room. We really appreciate it. We got our managing editor, Yrays, on board here. So I'm sure she's going to be sending you some other interesting information. Tosin, thank you so much for coming back. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We had two questions that were there before, but I'm hoping that Olufemi and somebody else is going to retype their questions. But in the meantime, if anybody else has questions, please throw out those questions. Like I said, our aim today is that by the time we finish by 10 o'clock, there is nothing inside of Tosin's brain. We have emptied it completely empty. Okay, guys? So throw these your questions, any questions that you have. Let me just check if Wari had sent me some questions just before we went off. I'm not sure if she had. But in the meantime, Tosin, so let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Every stylist tends to have this, yes? What is the one fashion accessory that you can't do without?
My sunglasses.
Really?
My sunglasses. I can't. I mean, these are like medicated though, but my sunglasses, I invest a lot. I put a lot of money into getting original sunglasses. I think that's one fashion accessory I can't do without. My sunglasses, I can't do without them. I can't.
And funny enough, I love sunglasses, but I've never worn sunglasses before. Never. I just can't seem to get glasses that suit my frame of face. So I always need to go with somebody. Nobody ever goes with me, so I just never bother.
I think aviators will look good on you. I think aviators will look fantastic on you, Uncle.
So I will look like Tom Cruise, Top Gun. Bado. Yeah, that's what I like. So, flare underwear.
I think aviators will look really good on you.
Really? Okay, maybe we'll go shopping. Maybe I might be able to convince you to buy one for me. Hey, it'll be my lucky day. So, Flare Underwear. Flare Underwear says, what do you think about the future of fashion retail in Nigeria?
The future of fashion retail is now, and it is going to happen. And for brands that have not in a way turned their businesses online, they would have to start doing that now. Because one, social distancing, you want to reduce the number of people coming into your store, into your space. This has affected, I mean, I see my friends and I can't hug my friends. Sure. And I can't shake my friends. And I can't go to visit my friends. So now is the time for you to turn your business, create a portal, get a website, create a business portal where people can shop online and you can deliver to them. Now is the time. Nobody's going to have that time to say they're going to any store because you're trying to protect yourself. You are trying to stay alive. You're trying to live. So people just want to shop at their convenience. Everybody's at home. I just go to your website, I click on what I want, and I pay, you deliver. So if you haven't accustomed your brand to that online space, you need to. You have to. It's very important. The future of online business is now. Now. I would even realize that a lot of stores might probably shut down. A lot of stores might probably shut down and start the retail space online.
I agree. I mean, did you see the mess that happened with Primark? Primark is one of the biggest selling low-cost clothes in the world. However, the pandemic came across. From being the biggest seller and turnover of clothes, they went from that to zero because of COVID-19. And the reason why they went to zero, guys, for you, those of you that don't know, was because they did not have an online presence. Who does that in this day and age?
In 2020. In 2020.
When I read it, I said somebody needs to be fired.
In 2020, I was still telling someone that this period has brought a lot of content creators out. And I think content creators are the ones who are going to be getting the gigs. And when I say getting the gigs, in terms of marketing and all of that, and curating content and building content, now is the time to engage your consumers. Now is the time to engage your consumers. You have to be on that online space. You have to be on that online space. You can't keep hiding. You have to be on that online space.
David Talley has a question for you.
Oh, hey, God. I'm writing down.
He says, yes, so if you fail now, we go flog you like they used to in the old days. He says, what's your take on overnight designers without any form of training? Very good question, because I know some people in the industry get very upset with those that have formal training and that spent 3 to 5 years studying, and those that just come from nowhere and suddenly become a top designer. So David says, what's your take on overnight designers without any form of training?
Personally, for me, I enjoy the process. And when I say I enjoy the process, I tell young creatives that as much as you have talent, there are people who are more experienced than you. And it is always very important that you learn from these people. It would not cost you anything to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to learn under Ejiro. Ejiro went to a technical school. She went to Yabati. She can literally break down fashion for you. I'm going to learn under Ejiro because of so. And she actually has a school. It is always very important you learn through the ranks. You don't just wake up one morning and you crash. Even if you look at the big designers, there was a time Alexander McQueen was with Givenchy. I mean, most of them learned from different designers. Even Christian Siriano at some point was an intern with McQueen.
So are you saying then, Tosin, that you are, I think David is kind of against it. David, I'm not speaking for you, but I think David is against designers that just come out of nowhere with no formal training.
I'm not happy about it.
Or are you saying that you are okay with these kind of designers?
I'm not okay with them.
Which side of the fence are you sitting on?
I'm with David. I'm hands down with David.
So why are you not happy with them? What's your reason?
Okay, so the reason is this. You can't, I wouldn't necessarily say you can't, because you have a right to do whatever it is you want to do. But to do things professionally, you always need to learn. You can't just come out of the blues and just think you can do anyhow you want. There are protocols to these things. The things you would assume that you know, but you clearly do not know. There's a process to it. Those that were there before you went through a process. And I've realized that for people who just jump and they end up crashing. It's not a curse. I'm not cursing anybody. But looking at statistics, that's what happens. That's what happens. That you have access to funds and you have access to space, you still need to learn how to utilize all these things. I even realized that people who go to business school and probably still want to study fashion, they still go to fashion school. Because you understand that there are two different things. That you know the business does not mean you know the profession itself. Or people who transition from one career to, say, fashion, still go to fashion school. Or learn or they learn from someone that they believe that can teach them these things.